The man responsible for the death of over 200 people across India has been arrested. That's right, Yasin Bhatkal, the co-founder of the Indian Mujahideen, has been caught at the Indo-Nepal border. Yasin Bhatkal being produced in court showed absolutely no signs of remorse or anxiety, simply confirming his identity in a matter-of-fact tone and reportedly telling interrogators quizzing him on the death of more than 200 people, "Ye to hota hi rehta hai, kya nayi baat hai." Now remember, this is a big catch for security agencies. Bhatkal has been wanted in over 8 terror attacks that killed over 200 people, 221 to be precise. The Indian Mujahideen is said to be responsible for the death of 300 people in different terror attacks. On the program today, as we look at the biggest catch that the security agencies have got after Abdul Karim Tunda and Abu Jundal, we'll be looking at whether homegrown terror has been underestimated. But first, Sudhir Ranjan Sen pieces together how Yasin Bhatkal was caught.
Known as the modern face of Indian terrorism, the alleged bomber and mastermind of India's most talked about terrorist group, the Indian Mujahideen. Yasin alias Ahmed Siddi Bappa alias Shahrukh, allegedly involved in over 8 terror attacks across the country. Wanted by 12 state police forces, charged in over 40 cases. The 30-year-old has finally been arrested at the Indo-Nepal border, produced in a local court in Motihari in Bihar. Bhatkal's frequent travel to Nepal proved to be a costly mistake.
Yasin has been traced and he is under the custody of Bihar police.
Sources tell NDTV, for months Indian intelligence operatives trailed him. Last month they finally tracked him to a hotel close to the Indo-Nepal border. The operations group of the Intelligence Bureau acting alone for fear of a leak. The Bihar police was told just last evening. Along with Yasin, another wanted man, Asadullah Akhtar Javed, alias Haddi, has also been arrested. Both tried to bluff their way out of trouble. Yasin said he was an engineer working on a project in Nepal. Later, he also claimed he was a practicing Unani doctor.
I think it's a major achievement for our agencies and it's a major blow to terrorism. He was one of the most active terrorists in the Indian Mujahideen. He used to plan strikes, terror attacks, and he used to also be involved in planting bombs.
As far as Maharashtra is concerned, he is involved in German bakery blast of 2010 on Pune city, then July 2011 of Mumbai city, and I am also having my doubt he might be involved in 2012 August. There's some bomb were placed in Pune city on Jangli Maharaj Road.
Caught on closed-circuit television at least on 3 occasions, Yasin had to date managed to evade arrest. There was a reward of 10 lakhs for his arrest. Both men will be handed over to the NIA, the National Investigating Agency, and will be interrogated at length by various agencies.
The arrest of Yasin Bhatkal comes just days after another terror mastermind, Abdul Karim Tunda, was arrested. And it is perhaps one of the biggest breakthroughs for the Indian intelligence agencies. But the big challenge now is to convict Bhatkal and his associates in the coming months. With Nitin Gokhale in New Delhi, Sudhir Ranjan Sen for NDTV.
Let's go across live now to my colleague Imtiaz Jalil. He's at the German bakery in Pune. This was one spot where actually Yasin Bhatkal was caught on camera. You can see that in those pictures. They're caught on closed-circuit television camera, but he managed to escape. Just giving you a sense of what a slippery character he has turned out to be. And it's a big shark in the net of the security agencies. And Imtiaz, it must be at least some relative sense of closure for the families of those who were killed in that German bakery blast. Remember, this man alone charged with the deaths of more than 200 people, 221 to be precise. Imtiaz.
Well, Barkha, indeed, yes, it was within a matter of few seconds that 17 innocent lives were lost in the German bakery. 65 of them were injured when this Yasin Bhatkal came, and according to the investigating agencies, he seemed to be a very weird character, because although he had a team of workers working with him, alleged members of the Indian Mujahideen, but as far as placing the bombs were concerned, it was always Yasin Bhatkal who would make sure that he personally goes to the spot and he places that bomb. As far as the German bakery is also concerned, as you can see in the CCTV footage, here is the man who actually came to the German bakery to place that bomb, and within a matter of few seconds, innocent young lives, because German bakery happened to be a place where youngsters used to hang out, where foreigners especially, because this German bakery is in the very close vicinity of Osho commune, where foreigners from across the world come here, and after their meditation session, they would make it a point to visit the German bakery to have their special cakes and pastries there. But within a matter, as I said, everything was lost. The city changed after that, Barkha, drastically. The business went down. Foreigners stopped coming to this place, Koregaon Park, a very posh area of Pune, and the German bakery. Just a few months before only it has reopened, and now the bakery is trying to regain its lost glory. They are trying to attract customers. But yes, definitely after the arrest of Yasin Bhatkal, there is some relief among the people, but definitely there are more number of his accomplices who are yet to be arrested. And until that time, those people are arrested, it's not going to be sufficient for the investigating agencies, whether it's the ATS of Maharashtra or the NIA at the center. More arrests need to be made. The entire Indian Mujahideen network needs to be behind bars, and only then we can say that the case has been cracked. And it was not just the German bakery, Barkha. Just last year, there was also a low-intensity blast at the Jangli Maharaj Road. That case also has not been cracked. So with the arrest of Yasin Bhatkal, it is expected now that along with the German bakery, many more unsolved cases across the country will be solved. Barkha?
Imtiaz Jalil reporting from the German bakery, just one of the sites of terror attacks where the Indian Mujahideen is charged with having a role. Like we're saying, Yasin Bhatkal in custody of the security agencies. Let's take you now to the debate on the buck stops here this evening. We're asking whether homegrown terror and the challenge and the threat of homegrown terror has been seriously underestimated. While we're talking about the German bakery, with us in the studio is Sumit Singh. He's a survivor of both the 26/11 attacks in Mumbai as well as the German bakery blast, and we'll hear from him in just a moment. Let's introduce the rest of our panelists this evening. Manishankar Iyer, Member of Parliament from the Congress Party, is joining us. With me in the studio, Subramaniam Swamy. He's now, of course, a senior leader with the BJP. We're also being joined by Shahid Siddiqui, the editor of Nai Dunya, and we'll shortly be joined by R.K. Singh, former Home Secretary, who knows a thing or two about the Indian Mujahideen. Manishankar Iyer, let me start with you. While the Congress and the Home Minister has been, in a sense, been proud of the accomplishment of the security agencies in picking up this big fish of the Indian Mujahideen, Yasin Bhatkal, the question now being asked is whether this arrest will make the Congress acknowledge that homegrown terror is a real and serious threat. Because remember, it was only recently that your Minorities Affairs Minister K. Rahman Khan made a very strange sounding statement. He said most Muslims think the Indian Mujahideen doesn't even exist. If the Indian Mujahideen doesn't even exist, how did these 221 people die? And who is Yasin Bhatkal, and why is the Prime Minister today congratulating the Director of Intelligence Bureau? So my question really is, does this drive home the very serious threat of homegrown terror?
One of your correspondents just now, a few minutes ago, said that we have to see that conviction takes place. And in the process of that conviction taking place, the question that Mr. Rahman Khan raised, which I've heard from other colleagues of mine in Parliament, will, I hope, be answered as to who is the Indian Mujahideen, where are they, and what is the structure that they have. Now that the prime suspect is in custody, I trust that our authorities who are concerned with prosecution will be able to secure this information and make it clear that there is such an organization, this is where it is, this is what its structure is, and this is the way in which we propose to dismantle it. I don't think there was ever any doubt that there are homegrown terrorists. That we've known, and they are of every hue. We have homegrown terrorists who are Hindus. There are non-Muslim, non-Hindus. There are atheists. There are all kinds of people who are involved with terrorism. So there's never been any question of there being homegrown terrorism. But the idea that homegrown terrorism is uniquely the product of a body, a rather amorphous body called the Indian Mujahideen, is the one that is questions are being asked about.
Are you saying,
now that they have Bhatkal in
yes,
custody,
that was
let
my
them
question.
check it out.
That was my question, that now that they have Bhatkal in custody, you have no less than the Prime Minister saying congratulations to the DIB, the Director of Intelligence Bureau. Are you, Manishankar Iyer, saying you still have doubts over the Indian Mujahideen's existence?
No, I want to get the answer to my question.
Which is?
Which is, who is the Indian Mujahideen? Where is it located? How is it structured? Who runs it? These are very important questions. It's not, is there an Indian Mujahideen? Well, if Bhatkal says there is, then there is.